Live from Las Vegas, Nevada, welcome to the virtual light broadcast at lightworker.com. Today is August 31st, 2013. Segment 3. Please welcome Janelle Colliard and Kahu Fred Sterling.
Welcome back to the show, and I'm so glad to have Kahu Fred Sterling here. We know you're a longtime friend of Lightworker. So it's so wonderful to have you. Let me tell you about Fred. I'm going to have to put my glasses on, which this is really bothering me, but I can't see. There's one word that describes the journey of Fred Kahu Sterling: healing. He spent more than 20 years traveling the world, broadcasting to hundreds of thousands via the internet and authoring numerous books, all with the intention to heal the world one heart at a time. His own life journey mirrors this belief. Fred Sterling claimed his Native American ancestry and shamanic gifts, awakened as a medium for the seventh dimensional being Master Guide Kirael, became a minister and founded the Honolulu Church of Light, and pioneered the signature cell healing modality. Kahu Fred Sterling has authored several books with Master Kirael, offering profound insight, available in multiple languages and sold all around the world. His latest book is called Signature Cell Healing: Awakening the Chromosomes of Youth and Vitality. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. God bless you. That's a nice thing to do. Thank you.
You know, the worst part of my whole interview is reading the bios. I usually should just say, "This is Fred. Tell me about yourself."
There you go. I'd have done that.
So actually, I would like to know a little bit more about you. You have been working with this Master Kirael for over 20 years. Can you explain who he is and how you got to meet him?
Well, I can tell you it was a little different than my friend Steve and Lee Carroll and other people, but we all came about the same time. It was in an encounter because my wife is a beautiful lady. She's in the audience with me today. And she wanted to see this medium work in Honolulu. And I said, what's a medium? Said, well, it's somebody that chances their voices come through them and da-da-da. I said, oh, I think I should go with you because I don't like those people. So I went with her. And it was absolutely unbelievable. This lady was talking about near-death experiences and UFOs and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh, my God. Anyway, long story short, I went home that night, and I told Patty, I said, you going back there? She said, yes, I'm going back here because I don't like those people. All women. And so I went back the second time, and they had this U shape of chairs, not a big crowd, 20 people, something like that. And she sat up in the front of the room and talked again and again. Anyway, 3 times I went back, and the 4th time I went back, this night she was a little bit boring. we have boring nights. We do. But so I fell asleep basically. My chin.
The only man in the room falls asleep.
That's right. And well, that shouldn't have happened because when I woke up, and that U shape was facing the medium, had turned around and was facing me.
Oh my gosh!
And and luckily my wife had a tape recorder, and it was my first introduction to Master Kirael. And he had such a brogue, I couldn't even understand he was talking about, but they loved him. Everybody loved him. And I said, well, I'll never do that again. I never went back there, and it was quite some time before I even had the courage to try it again. So, like Edgar Casey, the sleeping prophet, I'm not no prophet, but it's what I do. I just have a tendency just to be aware of my body going to sleep, and when it's over with, can't tell you what I've talked about.
You don't remember?
Nothing. Zero.
Really?
Yeah. It's a little freaky.
That's a little convenient, isn't it?
Yeah, especially if you did something really wrong.
I'm going to have to talk to your wife, that's right.
I can remember that.
Yeah. Kirael said it wasn't me.
That's right. Yeah, Kirael did it, yeah.
So now, has he worked, were you doing your shamanistic work during this time, or did you just start that afterwards?
basically what I had was a career, a beautiful career. I was in the automobile business, and a quite elaborate time, because I spent 20 years in this whole journey, from a salesman to a sales manager, all the way up to the general manager, which, general managers, they don't do anything for anybody. They just go play golf. That's what I did, And a nice six-digit income, and my wife had a car, I had a car, a nice home, country club, all this stuff, And Master Kirael kept pushing, going, "What do you want from me?" He said, "Well, I want you to come with me." I said, "Where do you want to go?" So he told me that he'd like me to open up a center. And I said, anyway, the long story, I walked out of a six-digit income, cars gone, country club gone, just walked into a little hole in the wall in Honolulu and started this whole process. And I said to him, "I gotta have money. I need money." He said, "Well, get it." And I said, he's great with me, no help at all, no help at all. I swear, he never did anything. I shouldn't say that.
And I think he's listening. So.
Yeah, I think he is. Anyway, he told me that I should write a book. And I said, my education is not that big, so I was in the car business, But so I said, "All right, I'll write a book. You're going to have to help me. So you just sit there and write it." I said, "All right." And I wrote it, brought him into the room, and he did most of the work. He did beautiful. It's called The Great Shift in Consciousness. And it was 20 years ago, so it was not something well known to the people. Mm-hmm. Steve, Barbara, they were talking about it. Lee Carroll was talking about it, but not many of us. We didn't have a concept of what was happening, and to me that was a particularly hard job. But anyway, so then he said, well, he read the book. Now we're going to have to do some healing, and I said, what's healing? I had no idea this, folks. Not zero. I'm just a complete idiot. I say that to myself, but I didn't have a slight idea. What do you heal? What am I going to heal? He said, "We'll take care of that." And I said, "All right." So anyway, he brought this beautiful lady, and it's in the book right here. And I can tell you this. He brought this lady into me, and I know he did it because nobody would have done this, because she came to me and she said, I've got a problem. I said, "What's the problem?" She said, "Well, the doctors tell me I'm going to die." And I said, "Ooh, great job, Master Kirael. Give me one's going to die."
Start you with the small stuff, right?
Yeah, right. So anyway, I listened to him very carefully, and it put my hands where he told me to put my hands, and touching, teases. But anyway, the whole thing turns out that this lady had a fungus on her left lung, and it was a fungus that eats the lung tissue. It's all, nobody knows it. And understand this, it's absolutely incurable. Every medical book said it's never been cured, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, I started working with her over a period of time, and then one night I was home eating dinner, my wife and I was home eating dinner, and the phone rang, and it was Wanda, and she said, well, you can read it in the book. She said, "Can you hear it, Kahu?" I said, "What?" I said, what do you hear? He said, "You can't hear it, right?" And I said, "I can't hear anything." He said, talk to my husband. And so the husband got on the phone, and he said, "Kahu, she hasn't coughed since 9 o'clock this morning."
Aww.
Whew. That is a complete miracle. Because, anyway, it's in the book. Read the book. It's a dramatic experience for me. And I knew something right there was really powerful. And I knew it because Master Kirael didn't have to tell me, but I knew it because the whole journey unfolded right there before my very eyes, and she's still walking around Honolulu today.
That's beautiful. And and you say in the book too that anything can be healed because it's about love.
That's right.
Anything.
Absolutely. And that's my friends out here, right? Robert and his wife are out here, and they said they saw me teaching Signature Cell in 2006, and at the end of 2006, I had a massive stroke myself.
Right.
Down and out like Beverly Hills. But these folks said, I don't think I'd even recognize it. I said, they wouldn't, because it's changed so dramatically over the years. And it's not, I'd like to think it's been perfect stock and everything, but it's not, because it changes with what's going on around the world right now. So that's the key that this whole journey is. This book will be outdated within 3 or 4 years, I think. But it's the 3 or 4 years of experience in this whole process. Well, experiences for you, because if you get this book and you turn over the pages, there's things on the pages that with pictures of me doing healings and people doing healings, and it's so involving for everybody, you know. Really.
Well, and the book is beautiful. I really did enjoy reading it, and I have to say that I started using some of the techniques right away because they seem very simple.
Oh, God bless
and I love the golden light coming through. But before we get into all that, I'd like why don't you tell us, what is a signature cell?
That's going to be the most boring part of our interview.
Then we'll do it fast then.
Well, I'll tell you, because it's in the pineal gland. It's underneath the brain here. It's about this big around, and it looks like a pine cone, which is a part of the seminar, by the way. But understand, this whole thing is where, well, I'll tell you this. Master Kyo's going to come in here in just a couple of minutes, because he's pushing on me really hard.
I asked him to come, so...
I knew somebody had to come.
You have a special invite.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, this pineal gland is so empowering, but Master Kyo will probably do it, so I'm going to get out in front of him a little bit, because I like to think I'm important here too, you know. I really
He can't do it without you.
I'm not important. That's right. I go to sleep, right? Thank you very much. My story. I went to sleep.
I want a job like that.
Yeah, it pays well now. After many years, but it didn't come that easy. But
so the signature cell is one cell that reproduces
Master
itself?
Kyo said this. He said, "I'm going to teach you meditation, and you all can do this right now if you wanted to, because I'm not that pretty to look at. I know that." Close your eyes for a minute and just take a couple of deep breaths. But before you do it, draw this prana energy he was talking about, the golden light. It's in this book big time. You bring it into your crown chakra, comes down to your carotid arteries, into your heart, and just take 3 or 4 of those as I'm doing this whole process. And we'll just take 2 or 3 minutes. We got 2 or 3 minutes?
We have to, yeah.
Okay. I do this right now because it's important for you to do it. Now, my voice is not the best voice in the world, but it's what I got. But understand this. This whole process is what you're going to feel. Is you're going to feel this breath coming into your top of your crown, comes down to your carotid artery, and focuses around your heart chakra. The heart chakra, as Steve would tell you, is 5,000 times more stronger than it is in your brain. But understand this. Keep breathing and hold it around your heart chakra. And then if you would, just don't do anything special. Just see your mommy and daddy, and for some of us, a long ways back for us, but see your mommy and daddy coming together, and your daddy putting the sperm into your mommy. And it goes down this tube, and it goes up into this whole process, and there it finds this little egg, and it's the magic process, and that's your mommy and daddy's DNA. This is the process right now. Now, out of nowheres comes from the God creator for me, but it comes down to this journey, and that's you coming into this egg and sperm that's already started to live. And understand this, if you can hear what I'm saying, your mommy and daddy are important parts of our lives, you know that. But this is you. The magic of this whole process is right there, and you got to be aware of feeling what it felt like when you came into the womb. And there you spent 9 months of gloriful times. You were a God being, a creator being. And I don't want to make this a religious prayer, but it's not, because the God being is the being that you came from. You came into this earth plane, and you can talk about, this young lady was up here earlier, and she talked about the UFOs and so on and so forth. Well, you're a part of this whole process. You came into this mommy and daddy, and then 9 months later, you were born. And you come down to this journey to be born, and what happens is you begin to forget everything that you came here to do. Now, you came in, for 9 months ago, you came in with all the great things. You're going to be a doctor and a lawyer, you'd be a basketball player and all this other stuff, and you look down, what's this? I don't have a penis. Oh my God, I'm a woman. I'm a woman. That quick, boom, everything shifts, you know. I'm making it funny because it really is. But now when you come out of this womb, you come out of the womb and you start forgetting everything. You remember, before that, you remember you're a God energy, you're an angel, you're an elven or whatever. You know, all these other things you've done, all these other past lives you've lived in, and all of this. And now you're going to come out to this womb and you're going to forget everything. Right there. In fact, you know how to talk when you were in the womb. You come in here, the first thing you say is, wah. What in the heck is that? Wah. I want to talk to somebody. And the little kids, the little girl out there, the fellow right there, they can talk to you by using their eyes. And if you don't think so, that's all right. I tell you what I know. But understand this. It is so perfect.
So is that the first? So the first cell, that very first meeting.
There it is.
We're going to fast forward there. That is the signature cell.
That's signature cell healing.
And is that what creates the healing, or is that the cell you go after for?
It's what you bring into your DNA. You push your mommy and daddy's DNA aside because of sperm and the egg, and you get into this whole process, and you put it in what you wanted to do on this journey. And I don't think anybody in this audience would have a shock of this. If you think you're on the first trip over here, wrong.
Right.
No, not a prayer. Not a prayer.
So your healing is very similar to Reiki. I know it's not Reiki, but it's similar in such that it's hands-on, correct?
Actually, Reiki doesn't really do a lot of hands-off stuff. The whole
Above
over
the head,
yeah,
the body.
Right. I put it right on the hand. Right, put your hand on there. Because understand this thing. We are all beings of this creator force, what I call a creator. And we know that when we get to this point in this journey, we've got to, the doctor world is going to kind of unstitch a little bit right now. And you can see it around the world right now because they're trying to do so much in the doctor world. And what they've done is to let go of the general practitioner. Like you got some people out here that I know are general practitioner people, and they're beautiful people because they can sit and talk to the client. The doctor, he wants to say, "What's your blood pressure? What's your medications? And take some more, and see you next week or next month." You know, that's. And I'm not picking on the doctor. They're beautiful, beautiful people. They've helped me immensely on my journey. As well as that they know what I do. And what I'm doing is healing the 4 bodies: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And you've got to have all 4 bodies involved in this thing. So my friend Robert out there said, "Whoa, where'd that come from?" Well, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. That work. Everything works from here out.
That makes complete sense, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, something else I liked in the book that you had mentioned that people can use this at all different times. That there was a man that was on an airplane and somebody had gotten sick on the airplane. And, of course, if someone was going to be ill, the first thing you want to do is call 911. But while he was waiting for emergency, the EMTs or something to come over, he was applying your modality.
Yeah, that is one of those miracles that happens. I was in Russia, in the country of Russia, Moscow, and they were flying back home after the seminar. They were pumped up on this whole thing because it really is beautiful now. But this guy, the pilot came in and said, "Is a doctor on board?" And he said, "No, I'm not a doctor." A couple of minutes later, "Is there a nurse?" Nothing. And so he's sitting there and he said, "Well, maybe I should do something." And believe me when I tell you, Steve is this journey than you ever thought possible. And you're not even close to being done yet. But understand this thing, laddie. You've got this whole journey right here that's going out to this camera over here and goes out to the world, and we have some great times. But anyway, I just got a few minutes I want to spend with you because I want to tell you this. This process that you were talking about not so long ago, right here on this exact the stage, I think, anyway, they were talking about how things is going to get better. And I just loved it. My medium called me in and he said, watch this one because this is what we're talking about, Master Kirael. And I said, well, thank you, Jesus. What a wonderful good journey he's been. Anyway, he was talking about things getting better. And understand this thing. If you're not one of those people that's figured it's getting better, just hold on a little bit. August 5th, the sun began to shift its polar poles. They shifted the North and the South Pole. And my medium wrote the book and everything called The Great Shift in Consciousness. And he talked about the polar shifts and everything. He was sitting there, listen to this is so great. But understand, this process, what Steve was talking about, my friend Lee Carroll talks about, and my medium talks about it oftentimes too. But understand, you've got to be aware of what you wanted to do with your life. So, lass, you're a quite pretty lass, I'm going to tell you that.
Well, thank you very much.
Beautiful, isn't she? My gracious. I think, look at you in the camera. It's better. But understand this thing, lass. You've got to be aware. If you're not feeling a little bit, I'll tell you this real quick story. My doctor friend, my medium does this thing called mediumship things. He goes into trance and people talk to me. I love crowds of people and I like, I want to tell you this thing. Steve and Barbara, my medium. My medium, Barbara was not feeling well not so long ago, Mm-hmm. And my medium, he went on the stage and had 600 or 700 people. 600 or 700 people. And you can pull a plug on this anytime, doesn't matter, because I'm just going to tell you anyway. But understand, the medium was told that you and Stephen and Barbara was going to be at this meeting. And he wasn't there, and she wasn't there. And he was told, well, she's sick. And he said, well, I know that I saw Steve something on the radio and said it, but I didn't think it was that bad. And he said, well, actually, she's going to be going sent home from the hospital, and basically she's going to die. Shh. I'm sorry, Barbara. But understand, she went, the medium, he couldn't have any part of this. He says, I don't need anything. I don't want to bring Master Kirael. I'm going to do anything. I want to do what I want to do. He got 600 or 700 people to go into a healing with him. And magic, as you want to call it, magic, you're talking magic. Magic? Yeah, Steve, you know magic. Because within a matter of hours, Barbara was feeling a little better. And now she's traveling the world again. And that's what the signature healing does for you.
Well, that's such a beautiful thing, too. And that was thank goodness for that.
Yes, God bless you.
We have our Barbara back better than ever now. Better than ever.
So, thank you. I love your applause, but save it for my medium. He likes it better. Oh, he's not going to like that, is he?
We're not going to tell him. He's asleep now.
Oh, good. Thank you. All right. Anyway, you watch it on television. Yeah, I guarantee. It comes out television, right?
Yes. It'll be on the internet, yes.
Yes, television. Internet, what's the difference?
So, Master Kirael, are you the one who came up with signature cell healing?
Well, I didn't call it signature cell healing. He brought this whole thing to us. That's right. But understand this. I wanted to do something for the earth plane because I'm not an extraterrestrial by any stretch of imagination. I'm from the seventh light, the seventh dimension. Steve knows where that is, and you all know where this is. But understand, you all know where it is, don't you? And you say, oh, I don't know it. I only know the third dimension. The heck yeah, I do. Y'all, medium age olders and olders as spirits. But understand, you young lady, you have just crossed over the medium age, heading to the old medium age soul. So that's another story. The whole process is this, is that I want to tell you, I brought this thing to the earth plane, but my medium has perfected it now. He's got a class that takes 2 or 3 days or 4 days or something like that to do this whole process. But I'll tell you this, if you have never gone to any seminars in your world, start right here, because you'll go to more after this. Because understand this thing, he's not trying to get everybody to do it. He wants you to come and experience it. And if you're like that guy to get on the airplane well, I tell you one quick, really quick. Now you got to tell me when to get out of here, because I'll stay here all day.
We've got the cane. We'll
all right. The medium is in Las Vegas. This is Las Vegas. I love this Las Vegas place. Or this place over here called the I shouldn't say, fancy hotel. And my medium and my wife sitting over there, and this guy sitting over here, about 2 or 3 tables away. My special last. Don't stand up, because I would be embarrassed. But she told me, my medium, she says, you got to help him. He's not doing well. And so the waiters were over there, and the bus boys come out, and the cooks came out and this guy's going like this, going down under the table. He's going under the table. My medium said, my special ass says, you got to go help him. I said, well, he didn't ask me. I hate that. But anyway, understand this. He finally got up off the table, and he went over there. He put his, I won't tell him what he did, but he put his hands on his, and jiggled with his carotid arteries and so forth. And the guy sat up, and he was perfect. And the wife sitting over there, the guy's wife sitting over, he said, oh, thank you, doctor. And my medium said, I'm not a doctor. He said, thank you, doctor. Okay, I'm not a doctor. I just wanted to say if I can help you. Anyway, that's what you got to be aware of. You got to be aware of seeing yourself healing. It's going to happen. Oh, that was good. That's good.
Well, that's beautiful. And just a quick question for you. We've only got about a minute left. And so can anybody do this healing? Can anybody be trained to do this healing? Or do you have to have a proclivity towards healing?
A proclivity?
Another big word, I know.
Wow, she's got fancy words.
I can't spell it, but...
Don't try it. It's beautiful. Understand this. Everybody can do it. Every single person can do it. Some will be better than others. I promise you this. Mm-hmm. I promise you this. Because, that's right. Thank you. God bless you. My fan club, they love it. But understand this whole process is everybody can do it. Some do it better than others. My special ass, my medium had a stroke about 6 years, I can't tell you. He had a stroke, massive stroke about 7 years ago now. But understand this thing. It's in the book too. Get the book, then you can read it. All right? God bless you. And Joanna, you're just a beautiful, beautiful
specimen. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate you being here. It's been such an honor. And the book is Signature Cell Healing. It is a wonderful book. I encourage you to get it.